Hey guys, welcome back to the page. Thank you for coming in. Today we're going to be reacting to another video. This video is by Dante London. It is called Don't Leave Your Job. Life is not a joke. So we'll get some of this gentleman's take on how he feels about not leaving your job. And I'll come in and I'll share some of my opinion on some of his thoughts. So let's go ahead and get it started.
Working at Walmart as a cart pusher. Look, y'all, I ain't gonna lie. I did not think I was gonna be here this long. I was not expecting to be here this long, and I know for sure y'all didn't expect for me to be here this long. What I want to talk to y'all about today is why I've been holding down this job at Walmart. Excuse me. Now, if you don't know, I make $15 an hour pushing carts. It's a very easy job. It's not much. There's not much to it. I'm very to myself. Don't nobody bother.
Just kind of saying to myself, Walmart, it's not a bad job. I mean, $50 an hour just to push some carts, that's actually it's a decent job. I mean, that's decent money to do something that's not very hard. So hey man, I'm commended the dude for holding down his job and doing what he needed to do. He looks like a well put together gentleman. So yeah, let's see what he has to say.
Life can really make you believe that anything is possible, right? Now hear me out, because this is about to get real. Well, let me rephrase that. People like myself will make you believe anything is possible, right? That's what anybody who's motivating will try to tell people, right? Anything is possible. You can accomplish anything you want. I used to be that person. The reality is, life ain't no game. Like, life is not no joke. People out here really struggling. Bills, utilities, food, all of that stuff, it just ain't no game, y'all. Like, not saying that people out here are living check to check. A lot of people are, but not everybody. But a lot of people are having a hard time, you know, like the middle class and the poor people. You know, technically, people like me, I'm considered poor. You know what I'm saying? You know, I live in low-income housing and all of that, so I wouldn't even really...
So just kind of thinking in reality, you know, we all poor. When you think about the economy and everything that's been going on, nobody's doing literally better than the other man. If you're working a job, you're most likely having to work multiple jobs. Even if you have a decent job, you're probably working multiple side businesses because that one income isn't sustainable enough to hold you and your family over. So especially if you have more than one kid. I have two myself, so I know that it's not easy out here for anybody. So yeah, let's continue and continue to see what the gentleman has to say.
I'm technically poor, you know, by definition. If you go look at the definition of poor, like, if you below a certain income level, you technically poor. I believe it's like if you make less than like $30,000 or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I'm technically considered poor, and I know, you know, a lot of people are either middle class or considered poor. But life ain't a game, y'all. You know, that's why I had to wake up and realize that, you know, people didn't appreciate when I used to talk down on the 9-to-5 jobs, because that's literally everybody's way of life. This is how we survive. You know, this is how we take care of our families. This is how we pay our bills, you know. And it's just not right for people who are able or found a way to work for themselves or build up success as an entrepreneur. It's not fair for them to tell people that that life is very, very easy to get, because it's not. Everybody would love to work for themselves, but the reality is everybody can't, because everybody got bills to pay. You know, not.
I think people take that term easy kind of out of context. When you talk to the terms of easy, it's actually kind of the opposite. I believe that they're saying that everything is hard. Trying out and getting that new job is hard. Trying to get a raise is hard. You have to work hard at the job to move up. It would be the same aspect as if you went and worked for yourself. Trying to find that consistency, trying to find that drive, trying to find something to push, trying to find that idea that keeps you going. You find out that it's all hard. So in the terms of, if this is just as hard as this is, then why not take the path that's actually better for yourself? Because it's better to work for yourself and build your own stuff than it is to work for somebody else. So you find out that it's just as hard to take that path than it is to take that path. Then it makes it an easier decision, knowing that this was just as hard and you're going to have to work just as hard to get there. But just know, this path, you can work for yourself and have the abundance for you. This path, you working for somebody else and making the abundance for them. That's just kind of my take and my opinion. When I hear somebody say it's easy, they mean it's hard, but it's just as hard as the other thing that you're doing. So, but yeah, let's keep going.
Not everybody can just quit their jobs and go be a full-time content creator. Not everybody can just quit their jobs and go start a business. The reality is, we need to start preaching to people that it's okay to work, right? I know, it's coming from me, of all people.
Now, myself, I haven't run into a scenario where people are telling you that you have to quit your job to go chase success, especially in this economy. Myself, I'm one of the people who did quit their job and start going to chase something, and it started to work out for me. But I had a partner who was there, who was willing to help me while we went through this. So she was doing something and I was doing something. We were both trying to build to one goal. So this was a little different than other people's options where it's just you. In a case where it's just you, I wouldn't say just give everything up. But I mean, what are you doing in your free time? What are you doing outside of that job? A lot of people, when they're not working, they're just sleeping or they're slacking off. Are you chasing something else? Because if you're not going to maximize your time, then you need to find a job that allows you to better your time, so that way you can focus on your goals and aspirations at the end of the day. So I don't think anybody would say just go out and quit your job and that's going to give you the drive to do something else. No, that's going to hurt you even more, especially if you don't have something to fall back on. But what we're saying is, don't quit your job, but make sure when you're outside of that job that you're still giving just as much attention to your dreams as you're required to give to that job. But that's just, as I said, my opinion. So we're going to go back to what the gentleman's saying.
I have to wake up about this, y'all. You have to work and you have to grind. You have to take care of yourself just so you got some type of security in life. Because let me tell y'all something, man. I'm sure a lot of y'all know, bro, life just not no game. Even for people who got it together, those people still have to keep it together. Just because you got it together don't mean it's going to stay together. Life is a constant battle of surviving. Life is a constant battle of making sure you can continue to provide for yourself and your family.
But that's what the question entails, If life is a constant means of survival, then why are you not surviving for yourself? I think that's the mindset that we live in. Is a lot of people, they're not living for themselves. They're not living for them. And a lot of people think when you live like that, it's selfish, but it's not. Because completing yourself allows you to be the ultimate and the best person for the people around you. A lot of us start families before we've even got to success. And now when we think about going to chase our success, we have to think about the consequences that are on the family as well. And that kind of holds you back from really going to chase your dreams and chase your aspirations, because now you have to think about how this will affect your kids. But as he said, it's about survival. So at the end of the day, if you want to be the person who survived the best, you have to realize that at some point you got to focus on you and focus on making sure that you are the best and at the best that you can be for not just yourself, but for the kids, and providing for them the best that you can give. And when you're at the best, trust me, it's a lot easier to bring your family to the best when you're at your best. So back to the video.
Y'all know, I used to be one of those people who used to tell people that a job will never get you nowhere in life. A job will never do nothing for you. But without a job, realistically, you won't be able to accomplish much. The reason I've been able to survive so long without a job is because I've been living in low-income housing for the last 5 years, which is not something to be proud of. I mentioned this in one of my last videos.
Now, when you say that, though, that's the reality for a lot of people who have a low-income job or who are not working. They're living in low-income housing and things like that. But that's the mindset, though, is, I can never get out of this. And that's where the job come and tells to where it becomes a problem, because the jobs aren't actually paying you enough to sustain yourself. So you're having to do multiple things while working that job, which is just taken away from the attention that you could be putting towards building a business for yourself. I mean, this is the reality that most people, even myself, have to live in. But the question entails is, what are you going to do to get out of it? Because if you're still working that job and it's just keeping you right there, then that job is not really beneficial to you. It's just keeping you at the level of just enough to get by.
I used to talk about how much easier life was for me, and that's true. It did make life easier for me, but as a grown man, that shouldn't be a goal, right? I shouldn't tell people like go live in low income housing, right? I will always tell you to find the cheapest place to live for sure, but it doesn't have to be low income housing. But the reality is, if you want to give up everything and chase entrepreneurship, and go all in, you either gonna be broke and struggling, or you gonna end up in low income housing like me.
But you broke and struggling already, even with the job. That's where it entails to me. Even with the job, you're broke and you're struggling. So you can continue to do that same cycle of working at that job and do that for the rest of your life. Or you can choose that you want better. I believe this is what they're trying to say. Or you can choose you want better, which is why we say don't quit the job, but make sure you're building something for you on the side. Because if working that job is doing nothing but keeping you in the same loop, then what are you going to do to get out of that loop? And that's the whole mindset that a lot of motivational speakers are trying to get into. Like, what are you doing to get out of just the normal routine of just the brain dead, go, come back, sleep, go, come back, sleep? That's the big question. What are you going to do to get out of just this regular area, this regular space, this poverty mindset that you're in?
The only way that I will be able to realistically pursue this full time, but I have to wake up and realize that that's just not the life I want to continue to live. And as much as I hate working at Walmart, y'all, pushing these carts, I'm doing it because I'm trying to build up that work ethic in me. Because I feel like a strong work ethic at a job will go a long way into my entrepreneurship and my goals of becoming a content creator. It will give me a different sense of hard work.
I disagree with that mindset. I disagree with that completely. Constantly working at somewhere that you don't appreciate does not do anything better for you. Yeah, he's smiling and he's happy, but he's making this video because he doesn't like to have to do that. When you're constantly doing something that you don't like, that does not build motivation. That is not something that you will find that motivates you to do more, because you realize when you're finally away from it that you got time to relax, and it makes you lazy because I just want to relax. I just want my time to myself. I don't want to really have to deal with none of that stuff, because you're doing something you constantly hate. If you're chasing your dreams and doing something you love, that's going to give you the motivation to keep going, because you're actually putting work into something you appreciate, something you actually feel like is worth your time. So what are you going to do? You're going to invest more time into it. So that's, like I said, that's just my take.
Work and purpose, right? And learning good work ethic. Like, good work ethic can go a long way for you, and that's just something I'm learning. And even though I'm only making $15 an hour doing this, it's getting me, it's motivating me even more, because I'm realizing, like, okay, I can see that this is what my life could be if I don't realize that I need to hold a stable job and continue to try to find a better paying job. This will be realistically the only type of job that I will get, making $15 an hour, right? So it's just good to have some good work ethic in you. And that's just something that, sadly, it took me so long to learn. Because I've been so dead set on, I want to be successful, I want to be successful. The reality is, man, you ain't gonna be successful overnight. You ain't gonna be successful if you can't take care of yourself. You ain't gonna be successful if you ain't got money behind you, if you ain't got some stability.
I have to disagree with the gentleman again. There are many people who were successful without having anything behind them. deciding to chase something when everybody else told them that it would not work. That is how the best inventions have came about. That is how planes were made. That is how we're flying through the skies. These are ideas. The mindset of people telling you you can't actually should give you a drive to prove them wrong. I don't know if that's just Aries, but that's how I look at things. When somebody tells me that I can't, I want to prove you wrong. So the whole mindset of in that belief of somebody telling you that you can't do something can give you a drive to accomplish something that this world did not believe that you could accomplish. Maybe even you didn't believe that you accomplished, but you took everything and you put everything into that, and you got to see the biggest payoff in your life because you took that leap of faith. That's why we have things called a leap of faith to stop everything that the normal mindset tells you to do, the normal people, and to do something different, something that everybody says, oh, you're crazy. Well, you know what? They've said many people who are the most successful people in this world were crazy. When they even look at things like Trump, when they say, oh, Trump could never be president, he would never win a second term, people thought it was crazy. Look where he's at now. So I'm just saying, I don't think that's a good way to explain what he's saying there, because yes, you can change your life overnight. You don't need a backing. You could do something amazing because God has already instilled it in you. You just have to find that and show the world that this is the amazing thing that you're here to offer.
If you got the mindset of putting all your eggs in one basket, entrepreneurship and being self-employed and all of that life is just not for everybody. And I'll be the first to tell y'all, bro, like, I have to tell this to my old self. Don't listen to people who tell you that you can just quit your job and just go for what you want. It's just not realistic,
I don't think the whole mindset is to quit your job. I think the thing is that people don't realize how much your job can actually be holding you back from actually achieving your dreams when you're constantly going to something that you hate. And that was my scenario. I had a good job and I hated it. I hated every bit of it. And I was working my other content creation. I was building it. And I was like, man, I really just want to quit and take this full time, because it was starting to leak into my other content creation for TikTok and Facebook, where I would be done with the job and I just didn't want to do anything. I just didn't want to go chase that dream. I was just dead and done. And I just was just tired of the day. And then sometimes, you got the customers who just ruin your day, or you had a huge argument with your manager, and now you're not focused on going to the other thing because you're finally out of that situation and you just want to relax. You just want to lay down. You just want to take that day and be done with it and miss out on all those hours that you had left to go chase your dreams. Even when you feel the worst, that's when you're supposed to be chasing it. And that's where a job can counteract what you're actually trying to achieve. So I'm not saying go quit your job, but you got to find the right headspace to go achieve the dreams that you're saying you want to achieve.
It's easy for us to get misled with false hope, and I can be the first to tell y'all because I lived it. I experienced it, gave up 5 years of my life pursuing YouTube to still just be in low income housing still. And yes, I made progress on my YouTube channel, but I haven't made any progress in life.
See, but you're also putting that same story now on to everybody else to say you can try, but you may not be successful. So do you need to continue doing what you're doing at the other side? No. If you worked just as hard here as you're saying, and you push that just on the other side, you're saying that you did all of that and it never worked out. Well, then that means there was something that needed to be done further, something that needed to be farther, or brother, that wasn't the path that was meant for you to take. But you can't just say, oh, well, because it didn't work out for me, it's not going to work out for you. I know you ain't saying that for everybody, but you're also putting in a mindset that, hey, this may not work, so you need to have this. That shouldn't be the mindset. There needs to be a mindset of no matter what, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to push it until nobody cannot acknowledge me. I'm going to work hard. And then that's what it is. Like a lot of people, they get their mindset with one platform when there are so many platforms. That's where I was. I was stuck on TikTok for years. I was pushing it and it wasn't doing anything. Finally, I started branching out my content, putting it on Facebook, putting it on YouTube. And I realized Facebook was taking me off and it was allowing me to get a sustainable amount of money where I could actually take care of myself. And it's still doing that to this day. I think that one side of, oh, this will work out right here. No, you can't just limit yourself to that one thing if you want the world to see you. So that's just, like I said, that's just my take. And we'll get back to the video.
For real. You know, so I don't want anybody to go into this, or entrepreneurship in general, self-employed, whatever you want to do in life. Don't go into it just so thinking that it's sweet for real and that life is just gonna be a breeze, because realistically, ask yourself if you can take care of yourself. You know, if you was to just quit your job today, like how long would you survive? You know, how are you paying?
Again, I don't think that's the right mindset to have. It's all hard. You already can't pay your bills. You already behind monthly struggling. So do you stay doing the exact same thing? You work in that job and it's keeping you behind. Are you choosing to chase your dreams along with that? What are you doing to set it up where and maybe in a year or two, you've accomplished what you're trying to get? This isn't a short-term goal. And that's what a lot of people think of, the short-term gratification of doing this. No, when you think about chasing your own dreams, you have to think this could be 5 to 10 years. This could be 20 to 30 years before you actually get there. Like I think about the KFC guy a lot. He created Kentucky Fried Chicken way back. He didn't actually get the patent and get people to invest in it and make his own restaurant until he was 50 years old. That means at any time you could be great. You just have to stay consistent. That's the biggest thing that pays off for me, is staying consistent. A lot of people say that, oh, I've been pushing for years. But what was your consistency? A lot of people, when they say they push for years, they were on and off for years. There was no consistency, no drive, because every time you kept losing it. Then you got it back. Then you lost it. Then you got it back. And that's what working in a place like this leads to you, because it constantly kills your drive to believe that you'll never be nothing more than just this person. And that's why you have to find something you love and something that you were willing to chase and something that you were willing to fight the world for. Because when everybody tells you it won't work, oh, trust me, God will say different. You got to tell the universe that you're going to make this happen no matter what. So like I said, I'm just sharing my opinion. Let's jump back to the video.
Next month if you lost your job today. You know, so it's very important to just keep strong work ethic and to make sure you got good money management. Even if you are stable right now, it's just good practice to just have good money management just so you can get ahead in life. And you know, I am the type of person who is willing to take risk in life, y'all. I really am. And but I had to realize that it's a lot of people that
I've always found that mindset crazy when I really started to chase dreams and goals for myself, is to think that chasing something for yourself is actually taking a risk. That's not taking a risk. Securing yourself and making sure that you were good is not taking a risk. No, taking a risk is getting in that relationship. Taking a risk is choosing to have kids with that. Taking a risk is going to work a job for somebody else so they can be successful. That's taking a risk. No, when you chasing something for yourself, that's not taking a risk. That's called success. People call it selfish. No, you have to chase something for yourself. You don't take a risk on chasing something for yourself. You take risk on doing everything else for everybody else. Now you're risking yourself. That's where the risk happens. Not going to go chase your dream, your goals. You're not taking a risk because of that. So that's, like I said, that's my opinion. I don't think that's taking a risk, guys. Focusing on yourself and chasing your dreams, that's not taking a risk. That's just called regular success, baby.
I really look up to my content, and my content could really influence people to think that okay, well, it's possible to make good money on YouTube and just not work. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Like I said, the only reason I've been able to do that is because I've been in low income, which you don't want to be, because then you get comfortable like I did and be stuck, right? And be honest with y'all, bro, like, can I go out and move in the market rate right now and survive? No, I can't. You know, I for sure can't afford market rate working at Walmart. Now,
That's another mindset as well that he just exposed himself right there. You got comfortable. See, when you get comfortable, you don't have a drive to keep going, which is something else that leads to inconsistency. Now, he's saying this because he was in this low income housing. I'm assuming he was making just enough to kind of get everything by. But that's not the scenario for everybody. That's not the scenario for everybody. That whole comfortable mindset is what pushed him back, because he didn't really have a job to do nothing. No, I'm good. I could just live right here for the rest of my life. And that's a detriment. And that's where you should find your drive and go back. But right now you're saying that, oh man, I actually got to work this job. You're actually making yourself worse. And you're saying something worse for yourself, because now you're putting all your eggs in this basket, because that job can be lost anytime. Anytime. And that's where that's why working a job should make you always uncomfortable. Because when you're working for somebody else, they can fire you. When you're working for yourself, you can't fire yourself. I mean, you can, but that's still going to be your choice. For somebody to just fire you, you didn't have a choice there. They took away your choice, and now you have to deal with the consequences of the choice they made, instead of you have just making that choice for yourself to chase something outside of them.
Just start strategically planning out the next few years of your life, just so you can get ahead. And if you got a dream, if you got to go for it, for sure. But be able to take care of yourself, you know, and not depend on the government, you know, like me. You know, I hate to say that, but it's just life, man. I'm telling y'all, this is part of my learning experience in life. Don't be dependent on nobody.
A lot of people don't understand how government dependency could put you in a chokehold, because it leaves you reliant on somebody, just as if he said reliant on something. And when that thing gets taken away from you, you feel like you've lost everything. I mean, as a person who did collect food stamps and things like that, I know how that feels to have it for a certain amount of time, and then when something happens, all of it taken away, it puts you into a mode of panic and can set you back, literally. It can set you back, way back, because you had planned certain things. Now everything that you planned is now changed, which also can put you in a mindset of just kind of doing the same thing, or that you need to go work 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs to make up for what you lost. So definitely be careful with relying on the government, because it may seem like a blessing, but it can definitely be a curse.
For nothing. You shouldn't be dependent on nobody for anything. And you shouldn't be, you know, just barely getting by. If that's the case, you know, then you know you gotta make some changes in your life. And I just want to see y'all win, man. I do want to see everybody win, because life just ain't no game, bro. It's just not. Life is tough for real out here. Life is really hard out here, y'all. And I used to ask myself all the time, like, damn, bro, how do people work these jobs for years and years without moving up, without doing anything? The reason is because life ain't no game. Bills don't go nowhere. You know, you still gotta eat. You know that just because you've been at a job for 5.
I believe it's complacency. Eventually you become just used to that routine, and realizing that is the only thing that's going to keep you where you are. And because of that complacency, you believe that there's nothing else that you can achieve, nothing else that you can accomplish, or you're like, this is just enough so I can make sure my family gets good. I'm going to sacrifice the rest of me for my kids. And no time should you ever be comfortable in the place that you are. You should always be striving to get more. Always should be trying to get something better or be better than the person that you were yesterday. When you get complacent, you lose the game of life. You lose the game of life because there's nothing else for you to dream about. You've decided that this is it, this is where it's going to be, when there's so much more that you can accomplish, especially when you're younger and you're at a young age. Never get complacent. Never think that this is all that's left, because you got time. and you got the opportunity to go achieve something great, to go accomplish something amazing. But if you get complacent, you'll just leave that all behind so you can just continue living in a loop.
5 years, that don't mean the bills stop. Just because you've been at a job for 20 years don't mean the bills stop. People work because they have to. And just don't listen to content creators and other people, even including myself, to just go into something like this blindly. Go into it, but also have security. Have a plan B. Work towards this while you grinding at your regular jobs. And this is coming from somebody who just a few months ago was telling y'all, you know, a job will never get you nowhere. I used to use my mom as an example. Like, she worked 30 years and still only making $1,000 a week. Well, life is still there, you know? And the reality is, if you don't start making changes now in your life, you're gonna look up and still be in the same place. I understand you gotta survive, but you wanna make some type of progress at least. But people don't, because life don't go nowhere. Life still happens year by year. So it takes extra effort to get yourself to where you need to be in life.
See, but that's the whole thing right there. Shouldn't that mindset make you want to achieve more? No matter what you're going through, life is going to happen. So why not want to go through something that's better for you? Something that can allow you to accomplish even more or move even farther in life. And that's where it is. At certain points in life, we stop dreaming. And when you stop dreaming, that's the biggest hit that you can do to yourself, because, as I said, you no longer have a drive to move forward. So,
even just to be financially stable, some people don't even reach financial stability until late 30s, early 40s, mid 40s sometimes. Life is hard to figure out for real. But you know, you for sure should have either a really good career job or multiple streams of income if you are working a regular job. You know, that's just my advice to y'all. And just be smart in life, you know. Go for what you want. If you got dreams and passions, figure out how to monetize it. And then grind at your day job and then fund your dream so you are able to make money from your dream. You know, because life is just, you need income in life to survive. We all need money, so everything we do is to survive. So just, you know, y'all get what I'm talking about. Y'all get the gist. But day by day, month by month, I'm grinding, and I'm just realizing that even though I'm pushing carts here at Walmart, this is still, you know, giving me the work ethic that I need to succeed in life, not just on YouTube, in life, you know. So I just hope this video can give y'all a little bit of motivation just in life, just to get your life together, or if you got your life together, to keep your life together. You know, if y'all got everything together in your life, give us some game, bro. I know a lot of our older people, y'all been through it, y'all worked the job, some of y'all got good paying career jobs now. Let us know in the comments how we can get there, how we can achieve financial freedom or financial stability. Because even though I'm making decent money, I'm not financially secure at all. You know, I spend the money just as I make it. You know, I try to...
More flaws that he's talking about of himself that also can place him in this little loop that he's in. So the gentleman's talking about he spends money just so he gets it out. He tries to save, but he doesn't really. And it's like, so what did you do all those 5 years that you were on there? Were you just realizing that, oh, I could use my job for this, and then going to go spend the money? It sounds like there was a lot that allowed you to go through this loop in 5 years, because I just don't see the sustainability of somebody pushing something for 5 years and nothing happening, and choosing and not reevaluating something and saying, let me look at something a little differently here. But like I said, I'm not the gentleman. I just some of his approach to things, I think I just disagree with. So let's go ahead and finish the video. I really like what this gentleman is saying. I think it's giving us an insight, and I'm really putting my opinion on it just so people can kind of see a difference in opinion on this. In no way do I want to attack this gentleman. He seems like he's a very wholesome guy, and I really like his message. So let's finish it up and see what else he has to say.
As much as I can, for sure, but you know, life still be happening, you know. So yeah, let me know y'all thoughts and opinions on this video, man. I love y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Sorry I've been inconsistent with the uploads, man. Just been figuring out life and handling things in my personal life, but videos gonna get uploaded every day moving forward. You know, I gotta get to the grind. I am trying to get my first 10K month on YouTube. That's a personal goal I'm trying to hit. But I ain't gonna be able to do it without y'all. So y'all gonna be a big part of that. Watch me every day. I hope I can give you some value in your life. But yeah, that's all I want to tell y'all today, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow. But we gonna be successful, y'all. We just gotta go about it the right way, the smart way, have a plan B.
Y'all saw the video and what the gentleman was saying, but that end part, that we need to focus on what he said at the end there. So he said that he hasn't really had the drive to post and really do things like that because he's had other things to focus on. See, that's the mindset. The main focus should be your success. If this is something you really love to do, there should be nothing that sways you from making sure that it gets done every single day. No matter how hard life is, no matter how much you crying about it, no matter what goes on, you should find a way to post, to say something. And that's where his drive is gone. That's what it seems like, that the mindset of actually wanting to get there and actually wanting to achieve it is leaving him. And it seems like he may be in a mindset of ready to go do something else. So that's where this video entails, is that mindset right there of thinking that you can't do it, and because you haven't been able to do it because it either got hard or it got worse. But you got to remember, no matter how hard it gets, it's all hard. Life is a constant up and down. It's a wave. And if you give up when it gets to its hardest, you're going to lose everything you accomplish. No matter what happens, stay the course. Stay the course. But that's the end of the video, y'all. Like I said, that video was by Dante London. I'll make sure to leave a description in the comments so if you guys want to see. So I'll make sure to leave the link in the description. So if you guys want to go to this video, definitely show him some love. He seems like a great guy. And I just wanted to give my take on, don't leave your job. Life is not a joke. I do agree that life is not a joke, but maybe people should take themselves a little more serious and make themselves a little more of a priority, in my opinion. But again, like, comment, leave me y'all opinions in the comment. Follow my other social medias, and I will see y'all next time on SHL Reacts.